Welcome to episode 142 of Business Growth School for Service Providers. I'm your host Ali Salman, and this podcast is brought to you by Rapid Boost Marketing, online marketing for local service providers. Today we are doing the part 4 of 7 business growth strategies, right? I've also included the part 1, 2 and 3 in the show notes so you guys can go and check it out. This week roundup is all about search engine optimization, SEO. We know that SEO is one of the basically brings in, if we look at the core traffic channels like in social and search and advertising and other channels, search is the biggest channel out there. So if you're a local business, most of your leads will be generated through search engines, right? And if you in those search engines too, if you're doing SEO properly, then you don't have to end up paying huge amount of money for AdWords and advertisement. So number one, topic we're going to talk about is basically 5 signs of bad SEO. What we have done is we have listed basically simple 5 signs, right? Of bad SEO, and number fourth one in that is like duplicate content or low quality content. So what I've also done is I've included tools and resources in the show notes which can help you figure out duplicate content issues. Also things like broken links, right? Internal and external broken links, duplicate titles, they all hurt you. They are the signs of bad SEO, so go and check them out. Let's talk about our second growth strategy for today. Now, a lot of people say, you know what, I don't know what I rank for what keyword, because your browser has a cache, and whenever you search it from your own browser, what ends up happening that you get manipulated results. So this is actually a Chrome extension. It's mentioned in the show notes. It's called Nightwatch Search Stimulator, and you can basically figure out your rankings for any given keyword in any different country. Let's say, I mean, you want to find out on UK, so google.co.uk, or you want to find out in Mexico, so google.com.mx, or Canada, so google.ca. So ideas that you can find out that how you're ranking in different cities, different countries, right? Irrespective of your past search behavior. Number three growth strategy for today is basically how can you get content, basically free content in the form of blogs, infographics and stuff like that without writing a single code, a single word. Now we know that there's a concept guest blog posting. So if your website is ranking well and you're already attracting good traffic, then what I've done is I've included I think there's 7 or 8 of them. There's free tools and platform which can help you connect with people who would love to contribute content on your website in exchange of a link or two. Now usually what happens in this scenario is you don't have to spam your website with irrelevant content. You have to find people who are in your industry but you don't directly compete with. So let's say financial advisor can partner up with mortgage person or a realtor. Similarly, a dentist can partner up with an orthodontist or dental implant person. Idea is that you generate content around your own industry, but the beauty is that without writing a single word, right? So that's amazing, right? Now, and using this technique, we internally publish at least blog a week from external writers. So imagine we get 4 blog posts, right, every month. We don't have to write them, and they are very specifically targeted to our audience, right? All right, so we are on which number? We are on number 4 basically. So how long does it take to rank on Google? Very good question, right? So in this episode, what I did was basically I actually attached a um, whole infographic which the data is collected by Ahrefs, and it shows you ranking on Google is basically a process rather than an overnight success, right? Okay, only 6% of the newly published pages will gonna rank in top 10 on Google. So that means that you really have to work hard if you want to get if you want to rank on Google. So whenever you see a shortcut, whenever someone comes and says, you know what, you're going to start ranking on Google in 1 week or 2 weeks, yes, you're going to start ranking on Google, but most of the competitive keywords, right, it takes time anywhere from 6 months to a year basically to get ranking on Google for most of the competitive keywords. I mean, what do I mean by competitive keywords? That could be, let's say, realtor, your city; mortgage broker, your city. So in your local service providers, your city based keywords are one of the most competitive keywords. So if you work on them for 6 months to a year, you're gonna see amazing results, right? Number five, right? So apply this simple Google search results strategy. What it will do, that it will basically increase your CTR ratio. What do a CTR means? That let's say when people search for XYZ on Google, right? Now your website shows up with like 5 or 7 or 10 other websites out there. So how can you stand out, right? If you basically include reviews and add it in your rich snippets, right? And it's super easy, like the process itself. And I've actually enclosed an example there, because if you have a star reviews there and it has 5 stars, like it grabs your attention right away. And it's proven that it can get you upwards of 35% of more click-through ratio, which is pretty crazy, right, if you think about it. So that's amazing. That's amazing growth strategy, and you can get a better click-through ratio from your search engine results, right? Number six, right, is basically how much SEO services should cost, right? Now, um, first of all, that doing it proper search engine optimization, right, it takes a time. It's a process. We tackled that in a couple of topics earlier, that how long does it take you to rank. So it takes you 6 months to 1 year to rank competitively. And for search engine optimization, good search engine optimization like services start at $1,000 upwards of $5,000 for a local service providers, right? I mean, if you're a dentist, accountant, lawyer, plumber, that's how much you're looking to spend, right? Then if you expand, right, you have multiple locations, then you're looking at anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. And then it can go upwards of $10,000 to $20,000 if you're looking at national campaigns and very aggressive goals. End of the day, what you have to do is you don't have to look at the money factor. You have to make sure that the work in search engine is done. It's long term and it's strategic, and it's helping you bring in more business. Because if you take shortcuts in this, you will get penalized. Eventually get penalized. I mean, might as well start from like new domain. So don't make that mistake, because this is like a stupid mistake. If you make that, you have to go back to the starting line. So why are you doing that? So might as well build a proper building. It's like, once you build the building and someone comes and says foundation is weak, you don't have to do that, right? So make sure that check this check this podcast out, episode out, which we talked about how much SEO services should cost, right? It goes in depth into 3 tier price points, right? And also what things you should be avoid, right? I mean, I've listed like 6 of them there. Guarantees, getting instant results, getting number one spot on Google, right? Anything which is super cheap, shady and unethical link building practices, all of those things you have to basically avoid, right? Number seven, growth strategy is basically, there was a major update came into local SEO, which was now you can find Google local businesses through with the help of Google Assistant. We know that Google Assistant is getting into a lot of homes out there. A lot of shops are using it. A lot of Android phones already have that. In Apple too, you can download a Google iOS Assistant app, and also a lot of home devices, right? They also use that. So this is impressive, because you can basically let's say if I can ask Google, help me find a best electrician, Google help me find a plumber, Google help me find a house cleaner. So this is an amazing area that voice search is used effectively to help local businesses find. And I've included an example of a whole interaction of how Google walks you through the whole like someone is looking for a plumber, and it walks them through the whole process. It's amazing, like, and I think as a local business owner, you should also pay attention to it. And if, like, if you have an agency working with you, if you have an inside person in your company working on SEO, make sure they know about this major update, right? Bonus one for today, number 8, is basically how to get more traffic from existing content, right? By tweaking your existing content without adding any new content, you can actually get even more traffic, right? So it's a 3-step process. Go and check it out. I have it in the show notes at rapidboostmarketing.com/grow, and like it will shows you a whole strategy on how we have tweaked one blog post to take it from 100 page views to 200 page views, right? Now that's like almost doubling the traffic and also doubling the times the people are spending on that blog post. So go and take a look at that example, because you can fine tune your existing content to actually, like, squeeze more traffic from search engines. I'll catch you tomorrow bright and early in episode 143 of Business Growth School for Service Providers. I'm your host Ali Salman, and this podcast is brought to you by Rapid Boost Marketing, online marketing for service providers. Have a good day, guys. Make it count. Bye bye.